I'm back after another brief hiatus, but here I am continuing to cast Jaraci Cup 1, and this is actually map 1 from the series that RoBeY and Descara played in the group stage, but obviously we only had map 2's game, so we just went ahead and cast that one first. In case you weren't aware, definitely Descara is the favorite right here. He did win the other match as well, and it wasn't too surprising. RoBeY obviously is not like a terrible player, but I mean he's up against one of the greats, so you know the outcome is probably predictable, but it'll still be exciting to watch. Map is going to be College Teeth, which generally is a very small one. Now, of course, we are running A Games patch. If you didn't know that yet, and it's going to be interesting to see kind of the matchup between Soban and Coalition. You know how that stacks up in the patch here, but let's see. So probe from RoBeY is coming out early, and if I remember properly what happened in the other games, RoBeY tended to use probes a lot to scout, which was good, but he would lose them a lot too. I can't remember if that's true. Maybe I'm thinking of another player, but I'm pretty sure that is correct. Descara going to be going Sport Cruiser first here, and I really think scouting is super important in DOK. But of course, the probe is expensive, so you don't want to be losing that money there. But you notice like RoBeY here, he actually retired his base runner, but first he sent the probe out. I would say if you have any doubts at all as to like what your opponent is going to do, that is very safe. Like I would probably recommend that. So it's very nice to see. Of course, Descara going Sport Cruiser first, that's nothing new. We've seen that before. Along with the LAV fabrication, no retirement of the base runner. There is a little bit of quick dropping going on apparently with the CUs here. So I'm wondering if he's going to be doing some kind of a rush, but I don't think so. But we'll just have to see. His probe coming out now a little bit later, as you can see, and I think he does that to, you know, prioritize like the economy. Obviously, if you retire the base runner, you've got to launch it right at the beginning, or you don't launch it at all. Yeah. But he's checking to see what the eco status looks like. He sees 3 guys mining long distance, but no Sport Cruiser just yet, and he is going to kill that probe, maybe. Yes, he is. Getting a little bit too aggressive with the probe there is RoBeY, so that's going to go down. And it's going to be AAV fabrication from both players, but Descara going out a little bit faster. Or slower, sorry. RoBeY going out a little bit faster. I definitely know what's going on here. But that's, of course, because Descara got that Sport Cruiser first. RoBeY getting his a little bit later. So obviously, with the earlier tech, he wants to do a bit of damage with these units. So I would hope he would be making them really soon. But of course, that Sport Cruiser being on the production queue does kind of dampen that, doesn't it? That could be problems. This is something a little awkward you'll run into if you get the tech before the Sport Cruiser, and then you want to make the Sport Cruiser as fast as you can, as you always have this like little overlap, right? But we've seen Coalition versus Coalition meta, if you can even call it that, so far. I'm not sure if there's a meta yet for this mod, but you know what I mean. It tends to be AAVs versus AAVs in the early game, so not too surprising to see that coming out from both players. RoBeY's carrier doing some acrobatics over here. It seems to think it needs to rotate around a little bit to get to that resource patch. It's always so tricky to get those things to do exactly what you want them to. But Descara, of course, as usual, showing he's a master in this. And immediately going to go to Assault Cruiser fabrication before he's even made a single AAV. Now that is very interesting. That is very interesting. As well as Power Reserve 1. And I'm wondering if that's for the defense. He does see the AAV coming in, obviously. And if you're RoBeY, of course, you want to push out with these as fast as you can. I think that's pretty well known. Base runner coming out for him too. Continue to make salvagers though, and it seems almost like Descara, seeing these AAVs coming, is just like, you know, I don't really care too much. He does have a turret to defend the main, right? And he's just put one down actually. And then he's got the carrier to defend the second, and I guess he assumes that's going to be enough. I'll tell you one thing though, it's definitely going to be enough if RoBeY doesn't push with the AAVs, so that's obviously going to kind of throw that, right? And this is where keeping that probe alive earlier would have really saved him a lot, I think, because he would have seen what was going on over here. Hope he doesn't lose another one of this base runner here. He might. Ooh, yeah, I think he's... Oh, okay, it's going to get out, but just barely at 46 HP on that one. Assault Cruiser fabrication is finished. I imagine Descara will make one of those immediately. We'll just have to see. And it's Power Reserve 1 only that's been done here. Is he saving up resources for something? Probably, because I think they take like 600 each, right? Yeah, there you go. So Descara hoping to extract over here, and I think he will. These AVs obviously do move faster than the base runner, but not enough, I don't think, to get the extraction stopped. He could also put down a turret if he wanted to, but I don't think he should. It'd probably be a bit of a waste. Meanwhile, though, he's going to return the favor over here, and I think he's going to stop this one. You know, these AVs do have high ground, actually. Although apparently they don't have range. This is something you'll notice if you just tell your units to attack. They often don't really totally know how to do it. Nice targeting jammer, he gets deployed over there, but this base runner is definitely dead. This one too, but he got its extraction out, so that should be fine. Maybe he can even do a little bit of annoying things over on that side there. Of course, Descara could choose not to even engage this base runner, instead just go into the main and see what he can get done over there, but I think this is probably better. Because he doesn't know what his opponent's got. And sure enough, there's actually a strike fighter coming out here, but there could definitely be something back there to defend, so. Assault cruiser's out, and there's nothing to stop this. Descara knows about the air tech now. Interestingly, faster than me. And so... yeah, I mean, he's making missile batteries here. He could even go for assault cruiser anti-air, but it's pretty expensive. Takes a whole minute to tech up to. Wow, that's a bit more than I expected. So yeah, it's probably wise to do it as he is. You can see he used overcharge to get that assault cruiser out in the field just a little bit faster too. But yeah, there's no answer to that assault cruiser on the field at all. So this is going to be pretty nasty. Obviously these air units can actually do quite a bit of damage to it, but the missile battery is already coming out. This one I think is going to be sent in rather sacrificially, just sort of in an attempt to take out that base. I'm not sure he means to go for the logistics module first. It may be so, though. But I feel like he's losing some precious time here. And I also wouldn't have used the overcharge. I'd use the attack missiles and try to just blow up the support cruiser there. Look, it's asking if I want the support cruiser to heal the assault cruiser here. That's funny. Yeah, no, I don't think he has enough time for this, so probably going after that ALM was a mistake, huh? Because I think he definitely could have killed off that support cruiser there. I think he's going to anyway, because of course he has another one. It's kind of out there, though. It's over on this side here. He does have that anti-air coverage that he needs now, though. Yeah, I don't know. That seemed like a little bit of a sloppy use of that first assault cruiser. I feel like it could have done way more damage than that, you know? The missile battery's getting a bit chunked by the new AAVs. This double airburst could be pretty good. Yeah, relatively speaking. Anyway. But yeah, these AAVs are destined for a world of hurt. Looks like some salvagers going to get taken out over on that side, but once these AAVs fall, which they definitely will, the air units can't engage here. There are missile batteries in the field, so there's nothing that's going to stop Descara from coming in here and taking out support cruiser until railguns are out on the field, and they're being produced right now, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Again, though, that first assault cruiser definitely should have killed off this entire base here if it had come with the missile batteries, which I wouldn't have done. I actually thought, yeah, he should just run it in there. But it seems like keeping it with the missile batteries, it would have done even more. But even beyond that, I'm sure he could have killed off the support cruiser if he was a bit more careful with the ability usage there. He's actually going to back off away from the rails, so it looks like RoBeY's kind of getting out of here free. Now I'm wondering if Descara even goes for support cruiser anti-air at all. I think assault cruiser anti-air makes a lot of sense here, actually. But with this many missile batteries on the field, he probably doesn't want to get it at this point. It'd be kind of like an over-investment into the AA. But I don't think he needs support cruiser anti-air, actually, because he's definitely got this whole field kind of covered with these missile batteries, except for maybe like right here. But I mean, he can get a missile battery over there if he needs it. Railgun fabrication coming out, that's really what he needs now to hold off these rails. Or he could go artillery, but I feel like that's probably safer to go railgun fabrication at this point. I like this taking out the ALMs with the missile batteries there. Although I guess it didn't actually die, just mostly. That looked like it came out of the assault cruiser. But the railguns have been jumped on top of here. This is going to be no bueno. I would actually use the healing thing on this assault cruiser now at this point. Because this is like a nice window where you're not going to be attacked at all. He's gonna try to stop this Space Runner with the airburst as well, which I think is pretty funny. No, it's definitely worth it to let this guy slip by to get this damage that he's doing here, because this is probably unrecoverable. RoBeY gonna launch again, but to no avail, I would assume. There's 3 missile batteries here already, so... Where can he go with these air units? I mean, maybe he can catch this guy in transit, but he doesn't really know about it. It's a support cruiser. Oh, wow. I like that, actually. I like that a lot. We got attack missiles coming in on the carrier. You can see how much damage those do. This guy is healing in the end, but a little bit later than I expected. And that healing seems to actually be outdoing the damage of the Swan carrier, which is pretty cool. And now, mind you, that would be even worse in vanilla, but, you know, whatever. Because, you know, Savon carrier does nothing. Looks like RoBeY has found the exposed spot, which is that main base there, but he's going to lose this carrier, I'm pretty sure, so I don't think it really matters too much. Support cruise is in position now. I'm really just waiting for the cooldown on these attack missiles to finish. And then another volley will fire, and I believe that should be game. There you go. So the expected result, but it was still pretty fun to watch. And I think you should definitely take note that the Assault Cruiser is probably Descara's favorite unit at this point. So I think he, in those old mod videos I used to see where like I would cast, you know, occasional mod games with A-Game and Descara, like he was always making these things. I think it's still true even in this tournament, so it's a good unit, it really is. Difficult to use sometimes because railguns can take it out so quickly, but that's a good unit. Hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to continue casting because I'm way behind, so watch out for those.